What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Sold Out. Today we have what I honestly thought was the new Zach LaVine shoe. Kind of more or less is his PE, kind of like Blake Griffin, kind of like Jason Tatum, kind of like Luka. How they all kind of rock different shoes, like the Jordan Separate, the freaking Jordan 37, and Blake Griffin, I forgot, was like the Fly, Super Fly, or something like that. But basically, that's kind of what's going on with LaVine in this. I was hoping he kind of got his own shoe. I'm not a huge fan of Zach LaVine, but I think it would have been dope. And it's a pretty solid sneaker for the most part. I did not get a lot of footage in the gym, though, because my phone did die. It was on 10%. After about 5 minutes, it just stopped recording, wouldn't record no more. So I just got frustrated, took off, came home, and wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as I can. I've worn these multiple times, and I honestly like them. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so hopping right into it, we are going to get a weight on this sneaker. I am going to say it's under 12. It's very, very light, like super light. Probably not as light as like the Kobe 11 or the Serious Player Only, but this sneaker is definitely light. 11.5. We get this one out of the way. So with this one, we're going to work our way from the top down to the bottom like we always do. The padding on the back was pretty minimal. There is Achilles pads, but it's kind of see these indentations right here. That's where they're located on the shoe. Down here, a little bit lower in there, and they felt great on foot. The padding didn't rub, didn't chafe or anything like that. I had no issues with the padding whatsoever. Now, as far as heel slippage, there was none. This sneaker, I had to get a 7.5. The 8 sold out. I can wear a 7.5, an 8, and an 8.5, but it felt great on foot. It was really tight at first. Wore it a few times, broke it in. Material expanded a little bit, and it felt great. So as far as heel slippage, there was no heel slippage whatsoever. And on the sizing, like I just said, sizing felt good, but it is a narrow sneaker. I have a very narrow foot. If you're a wide footer and you try to go down half size, probably definitely not getting into it. I would go true to size. At max, up a half size. I would not go down at all. Even if you love this sneaker and you want to get it, don't go down a half size. I went down a half size, and it's a very snug feel, which I like. But not everyone likes that. You guys can see how narrow the sneaker is. It is very narrow. Now, down onto the laces. Laces weren't bad. Kind of cheap flat laces. Nothing to write home about. I think they could have put some better laces in it. But that's about it. Just nitpicking at this time. I really liked a lot about this sneaker. But I had no issues with the laces. They were just on the cheap end. Now down onto the tongue. The tongue was kind of a mesh. You can see that. Not very breathable for the most part. But I didn't have no issues with overheating or anything like that in this sneaker. Now down onto the materials. Like I said, I did not have no issues with overheating. And it felt good on foot. At first, like I said, it was very tight, very narrow. I played in it, ran in it, coached in it, and it felt great. I had no issues whatsoever. By the time we got done with our practice, I wore it through our practice, just walking around, trying to break it in a little bit, wore it on the treadmill, hooped in it for a couple hours, multiple days, and I actually really love this sneaker. I don't know if you guys could tell already, but I was really surprised by this New Balance sneaker. I love the Kawhi 2s. I thought them were pretty solid sneaker. This sneaker to me is absolutely hideous, but if they come with a different colorway, I think they would be dope. Or I mean, the only other thing I could see them doing really is making this a low top. If this would have been a low top, this would have been fire. I'm surprised that they didn't experiment with that. Well, I don't know if they did, but this is a low top, would be a fire sneaker, and I'd absolutely love it even more. And it would be even lighter. This would be like coming in at Kobe weight if this was a low top. But down on the materials, it is called Fitweave. You can see it right there. That little tag, not sure if the camera's picking it up. Yeah, it's basically just a mesh with some synthetics all over it. You guys can see the synthetics. So toe draggers, there is a little bit protection, but it's not the most in the world. It doesn't come back far enough, I think, to really like benefit a toe dragger. So if you're a toe dragger, you probably will get into these. But for the most part, the material probably will hold up. It is kind of rugged. It's not like it's just thin, super breathable material. It does have a rugged side to it. So if you're a toe dragger, might not be the shoe for you. Definitely not outside. If you're a toe dragger outside, do not get the sneaker. You'll probably tear it apart. But for the most part, the construction of the material does feel very solid. So like I said, I do like the materials. The materials on the back, this kind of synthetic suede or nubuck on the back feels pretty good. Now, the heel counter on the back isn't the most rugged. Like you can squeeze that. Like there's an internal one and this one, but it doesn't feel like it. It just feels kind of like maybe that's it. but it still should protect you for the most part. Like I said, I had no issues with heel slippage or anything like that, and I think that the heel counter that they have inside this shoe will do the job, but I like to have a little bit more rigidity in the back of that sneaker. Now, probably my only like really complaint about this shoe is the support. Lockdown, like I said, was great, but the support, I just don't know if you're gonna get the most support with this material right here. Like, they got this New Balance over here, but it's really not like helping you with side-to-side support. So if you're someone that's looking for a lot of support in a sneaker, this might not be the sneaker for you. Now, down onto one of my favorite parts was cushioning. Like, I only really get a lot of good cushioning from like Air Zoom Strobles and Zoom forefoot units and stuff like that. A lot of other shoes with foam, like the Formula 23, stuff like that, I have trouble feeling that at all. I don't know if it's just because I'm lightweight, but with this, it could actually feel it. Now, I know this right here. I didn't know, I thought this was part of like the foam or something like that. I didn't know what this mermaid looking sheen material iridescent stuff was, but it is actually a plastic TPU counter down the whole side. And I will say they probably had to do it because this Fresh Foam's pretty soft for the most part. So yeah, guys, this Fresh Foam is very soft. I liked it. I could feel it. Up in the forefoot, you couldn't feel it as much. So if you're looking for strictly high impact protection, might not be the sneaker for you. But on the heel, it did have very good impact protection. You could see on this side, there's not that TPU casing or anything like that. Kind of like what Adidas does with the Hardens and stuff like that. They kind of left that open so you could see that and feel that, and I actually liked that and thought that was dope. Now, down onto something I really wasn't sure of with New Balance. The Kawais were pretty solid on traction. The traction on these was fire. Went into the newer gym first, fire, top tier. Then took it down to the pretty clean gym, but it does have a lot of dust on the floor. I think I wiped once the whole time and had no issues with it. Like, the traction on this was great. I was actually shocked how good the traction was on this. Yeah, overall, guys, I really loved this Fresh Foam. I love this New Balance sneaker. I thought it was dope. The color's hideous to me. I do not like the color at all. But like if they dropped like an all gray pair, black and white pair, black and red pair, red and white pair, something like that, I think this would be pretty dope. Pretty sure Zach LaVine's gonna have a red and black, white and black, white and red, some kind of dope ass PEs of this sneaker very, very soon. I will share them on the Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me on the Instagram at Sold Out Sneaker Reviews, you guys can do that. I'd appreciate that as well. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this shoe? Yes, I would. Definitely a guard shoe. I thought this would not be a guard shoe at all, but the lightweight structure, the foam, all that stuff, I love it. The traction makes it great for side-to-side cuts. You could stop on a dime. So, you know, if you're snatch back, anything like that, you could definitely rock these. You will like them. Bigs, you could wear these too. Only thing I'd watch out for is support. So if you're looking for a sneaker that has a tons of support, this might not be the sneaker for you guys. So guys, thanks for coming through the channel. Really appreciate every one of you, especially the ones that, you know, tune into every video. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Love interacting with you guys. Love talking sneakers. If you got any info for me on any leaks, anything like that, go ahead and hit me on Instagram at Sold Out Sneaker Reviews. I appreciate it. Shout out to my boy Luis. That messages me on Instagram and sends me all the new drops and everything. I really appreciate you, bud. I'll leave his tag up here. You guys can holler at him. So guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode of Sold Out. Peace.